everything you need to know before studying in New Zealand. Today, I'm going to walk you through all the key decisions you must make before choosing New Zealand, from institutes, cities to jobs and PR pathways. Using a real student scenario, meet Ria. She plans to pursue a master's degree abroad and considering New Zealand as her first choice. But she likes to know about which institute is best for her, which city she should consider. Will staying in smaller cities help her to increase her chance of obtaining a PR? What are the full-time job opportunities after completing a master's program? Can she take her partner with her to New Zealand? And what are the best courses to study in New Zealand for a PR? While I explain this to Ria, I am sure I will answer many of your questions. But if there is anything that you would like to know, drop me a comment and I will try to respond to you. In New Zealand, there are three types of institutes. First are private colleges. Second are government colleges, also known as polytechnics. And third are universities. Universities and polytechnics are government funded. In simple words, polytechnics are like AICT approved colleges. They can offer courses and they are recognized worldwide, but their rankings are average, whereas universities have an excellent ranking. In fact, most of the universities in New Zealand are ranked in top 1% in the world. Their rankings are as good as your IITs and IIMs. On the other hand, private colleges are privately run and they don't add value to your profile, especially if you plan to return back to your home country. Yes, they are affordable as compared to a university and they are recognized in New Zealand. But outside New Zealand, they have very little to no recognition. No matter you do your course from a private polytechnic or university, you have equal opportunity to apply for jobs at any company in New Zealand. And when it comes to PR, you will get full points. So don't stress that one is better over the another. Having said that, if you have funds, it makes more sense to do a course from a university than a polytechnic or a private college, as university education has better long-term value. Most people think New Zealand is a touristy destination. Nahi, aisa nahi hai. Let's understand New Zealand a little more in detail. New Zealand is divided into two islands. This is North Island and this is South Island. North Island has three main cities. The financial capital is Auckland, the capital of New Zealand is Wellington, and Hamilton is also located in North Island, whereas Christchurch is the main city in South Island. Ye jo part that you are seeing on your screen is all major tourist attraction. Yes, New Zealand is beautiful and you can literally holiday anywhere, but southernmost part is the main tourist attraction. In my opinion, the city you should choose be based on the following factors. First, best institute for your course. Second, part-time job availability. And third, accommodation support. My personal recommendation is look at smaller cities and towns. यहाँ पर part-time job opportunities ज़्यादा है. Look at Nelson, Marlborough, Palmerston North, Tauranga, because there is less competition and part-time jobs jaldi mil jata hai. If you have friends or relatives in bigger cities of New Zealand such as Auckland or Wellington, then you can choose to be in bigger cities as they can support you in accommodation and part-time job hunt. Will staying in smaller cities help you to increase the chance of PR? No. There is no such thing that you will get more points if you study in regional areas or your application will be processed faster. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. How can I say with authority? For your information, I am a licensed immigration advisor for New Zealand. I help people to apply for their residency on daily basis. I myself, I'm a New Zealand PR visa holder. So be rest assured, any information you are getting is genuine and authentic. If you are new to this channel, please like and subscribe. This way, any new information that I put on this channel, you will get a notification. New Zealand is a small country but has plenty of job opportunities for right candidate. Please note, employers prefer that you have employable skills that include technical skills like degree or diploma, that goes without saying. Soft skills, they are very important. They include customer service, teamwork, example, good communication and problem solving, and most importantly, ability to work independently. Please note, in Western countries, nobody supervises you. You have to work independently. So if you are a fresher, please consider gaining 1 to 2 years of work experience in your home country, then you will have an excellent chance of securing a full-time job in New Zealand. You must develop these skills before planning to come here. As a student, Ria is allowed to work 25 hours a week. Earlier, it was just 20 hours. Now, the New Zealand government has increased the work hour rights to 25 hours. Such step shows that New Zealand government wants to attract more international students. In fact, New Zealand has granted around 80,000 visas in 2024, and they plan to increase the quota nearly by 25% and grant approximately 1 lakh visas by 2027. These are positive moves, and you should always consider studying in a country where policies are open, relaxed, and welcoming, and avoid countries where policies are unclear. For example, look at US. The current government is making life of people who are already there very difficult by not granting them H-1B visa extension. So why do you think that they will grant you a student visa? Yes, if Ria is married or in a common law relationship, her partner can come with her and gets a full-time work rights while she studies for an eligible master's program. If Ria completes a master's degree in New Zealand, she can get 3 years open work permit, allowing her to work full-time. For best courses, I have created a separate video and you can check it here. And to apply for a New Zealand residence after completing the master's, there are several pathways that includes work to residence, green list, straight to residence, skilled migrant category, and so on. I have extensively talked about skilled migrant category in this video, linked in the description below. So tell me, what did I miss to inform Ria? Please comment and I will reply to you in detail. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.